Thank you. I am here to say I do not like design. Not the way it is done today. Because it's done by us, the elite, for everybody else. So what I am here to say, it is time to change the way we do design. So, I was supposed to do slides. But if I do slides, look, there's a slide. Very academic. Design, so here's my academic talk. Design in the 20th century was all about style, craftsmanship. And we have beautiful, wonderful things that people make, and it's fun to hold and fun to own. That is not design in the 21st century. In the 21st century, design is a way of thinking, a way of solving the right problem, and it's time to stop having the elite design for other people and let everybody design for themselves. And when we do that, we can completely change the way that we work and the way the world works. The way we design today is we send people out, we send out the ethnographers, we send out anthropologists, we study people, we say, we know what your fundamental needs are. And then the design profession tries to design things that solve your fundamental needs. And then we manufacture them and sell them. Well, that's a pretty weird way to do things. Don't you know what you need? Can't you do it yourself? If I look around the world, I find that people all over the world have figured out how to take care of their own needs. Sometimes it's not very elegant. Sometimes it isn't really completely functional. But they have figured out what they need and the directions to go, and so why can't we just help them? Help them do it in a richer, more sustainable way. And think about this, there are 7 billion people on this earth, all of whom have great needs. There's no way there are enough professionals to solve their problems. They need to solve them by themselves. And worse, sometimes we love to send our design students, our designers, to other parts of the world. We send them to India, we send them to Africa, we send them to South America, we send them to impoverished areas, and then we figure out the things that these people need and we present it to them. And sometimes they're very elegant and beautiful and wonderful, and they win design prizes, but they do not work. If you want things that work in an area that has great needs, the people who live in that area know what they need. They know what they can fix. They know what they can make. They're quite capable. If you look in Africa, people have figured out ways of doing medicine without refrigeration, without electricity. If you look in Portugal, there's a group called Patient Innovation, where everyday people figure out ways of monitoring their grandmother to discover when she needs help, or making their own prosthetic limbs that are very clever, that professional designers would never have thought of. My favorite is a young child who thought that his hands were too small. So he was missing an arm, so he made himself an arm that was 2 meters long. When you don't have an arm, everybody at school makes fun of you. But when he had an arm that was 2 meters long and he could reach across the table and get things, everybody was jealous. That's because he understood what he wanted. It's something that a professional designer would never have thought of. So how do we enable this? It's not easy. We have to rethink the way design works. So first of all, design by itself is not very valuable. Because design is figuring out, what we want, what we should do. But you need to do it to make it valuable. So I don't want to talk about design anymore. It's design plus implementation that's important. The combination, which I will call creation. We should talk about creation, because it is design ideas plus the doing that matters. Now, in order to do something, you actually have to have some knowledge. And so we have to have learning. So design plus innovation, or design plus implementation or creation, requires some underlying knowledge. But the correct knowledge is not the knowledge we get in school. I want to revolutionize design, and that requires me to revolutionize education. And the way I want to do education is what I call just-in-time learning. That when I'm trying to build something, I discover I don't know enough. And so what I want to do is I want to find the information I need right then. And that's when I am really motivated to read it and understand it and use it. In fact, today, the world's most powerful learning institution is not the classroom, it's not the university, it is the internet, which allows us to find movies, allows us to find people writing little articles saying, oh, I had this problem and here's how I solved it. That's what's so powerful about just-in-time learning, where people really want to learn this information. And instead of lasting for many months, these modules should be as long as they have to be, which might be 30 minutes, it might be an hour, it might be a week. But it's whatever the amount of time it requires to learn just the knowledge I need at the moment. So, we're going to change design. Now, suppose I develop something that's clever. Wouldn't it be nice if other people could use it, could learn about it? And so, in addition to having learning material, I want to be able to produce learning material. I want to tell the world what I've done so other people can copy it, make it better, improve it, distribute it. And so I need some sort of way of taking what people know and sending it out to the world. And that same thing may be useful as a learning module for the next people who want to go even further. So what basically we need to have to make design really work for people is, first of all, we combine the thinking and the doing. And second of all, we have just-in-time learning modules to make it possible. And then finally, we have a way of distributing our knowledge so anybody in the world can use it and make sense of it and make it better. So, let me give you some examples, because this actually doesn't completely work. Sometimes it takes experts. So let me talk about the system that is called Arduino. There was a design school in Italy, the city of Ivrea. And in Ivrea, there was a bar where people went to drink every night. And the name of the bar was Arduino. And many of the instructors said, the problem is we'd like to teach our designers to use electronics, programming, electrical, mechanical things. We want them to build things that move around and that do things. But the designers don't know enough. So the experts got together and they produced a system called Arduino, which it's a very simple circuit board, and they produced a very simple language so that people could program the circuit board to control motors and lights and could read in sensors and could do powerful things. But they made it so it was relatively easy to learn. So they also produced learning modules, just-in-time modules, and they also produced a way of making this open source distributed to everybody. This is experts designing things for, well, medium experts, for designers. Now, designers are able to take this information and use the learning modules to learn how to use Arduino and create interesting things. And when they created interesting things, they put it up into this cloud of knowledge so that other people could learn from them and do them. And so designers were now producing things for other people, including they were producing tools that other people could use to make many powerful things. So notice this is a two-step process. First, experts produce things for designers, And they knew stuff, so learning modules come up, and they produce new stuff, so learning modules go up. Now, the second step is designers use the learning modules to produce things that they put up in the sky for other people to use and for other people. And now the last step is everyday people, you, me, people who have no technical background, can take what the designers have produced and make new things for ourselves. And so this model shows how we can go from experts to everyday people, but in the end, we empower everyday people. And you know, a good example of this is IKEA furniture. IKEA sells furniture. You can buy a table or a chair or a bookcase. But what's neat is you can think of this as not a table or a chair or a bookcase, but as parts. And once you think of them as parts, then people have designed something which they call IKEA hacks, which means if I buy an IKEA table and bookcase and, I don't know, chair, I can think of these as interesting parts that I can put together in really exciting new ways to make new furniture for myself that supplies my needs and not what IKEA thought I should do. And so you can now go on the internet and look up IKEA hacks and discover how to make your own quite amazing things by buying several pieces of IKEA and producing it. Now that's a good use of design. Basically, designers producing toolkits and designers producing the knowledge that other people can then use to satisfy their real needs. And that's where I think the future should lie. So what we are trying to do at the University of California, San Diego, is to make this a worldwide phenomenon. Now, some of you will say, a lot of what I am talking about already exists. And that's absolutely true. And I consider that wonderful. Because if I want to revolutionize design and implementation, and I want to revolutionize the way we spread our knowledge apart and the way we do education, it's really good that other people around the world are doing the similar things so that we can build on them, we can learn from them, and we can put it all together. So what I really want to do is bring together all these groups in Asia, in Africa, in South America, in North America, in Europe, in Africa, so that the world together can build this rich repertoire of knowledge and of systems and of techniques, and we can truly revolutionize education and revolutionize the way that professionals interact with people across the world to enable people, you, to solve your own needs. And that's my message for today. Thank you.